I was scrolling through Amazon the other day looking at coloring books, as I like to do, and I landed on this brand called Blue Jewel Books. And what stopped me was not one, not even 10 books. It was over 100 books, all consistent, all well reviewed, and clearly part of the same brand. A mother and daughter running this from home, and they have built something that is making real money through Amazon KDP every single month. So today I want to take you inside of it, what they're publishing, how they're marketing it, roughly what they're making in terms of royalties, and what you can take from their approach if you want to build something similar. Now, if you are new here, I'm Caroline. I'm a self-publisher who has been creating and selling books on Amazon for over 7 years. And on this channel, I show you how to do the same. Before we get into the brand itself, I do want to just spend a very quick moment on why coloring books work so well on Amazon. The adult coloring book market alone was projected to hit $1.5 billion in 2025. You are not hearing me wrong there. 1.5 billion, and the customer base is enormous. Over 70% of coloring book buyers are women, and the biggest group within that is millennials. These are people who are looking for something to do that slows them down, takes them off their phone, and gives them a finished thing at the end of it. Coloring fits that perfectly. Now, why Amazon specifically? Because Amazon KDP lets you publish a physical paperback book without printing a single copy up front. The customer orders it, Amazon prints it, ships it, handles any customer service queries if there are any, and then sends you a royalty check at the end of the month. You never touch inventory, and the royalties on a paperback can be up to 60% of the list price minus printing costs, which on a coloring book priced at around about $10 can land somewhere between $2 to $4 per sale. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's it. That's all I'm going to get for selling one of my hard-made coloring books. That doesn't sound like much. And it doesn't really sound like much until you multiply it by 100 books and a few hundred sales every month across the whole brand. Coloring books also have a really low bestseller rank. Across the niche, they are very popular books on Amazon and just in general, which means that they sell at a solid, consistent volume. They're not a flash in the pan kind of trend. People buy them all year round with spikes around holiday and seasonal themes. And that's something that Blue Jewel Books has figured out extremely well. So who is this brand? Blue Jewel Books was founded in 2021 by a mother and daughter who both do the illustration work. They describe themselves as a small creative team making high quality, affordable books for all ages. They do publish under two names. They've got Blue Jewel Books and BJB Publishing, and together those two brand names cover close to 200 titles on Amazon. Everything from toddler dot marker books and kids activity books to teen coloring books, and their biggest line, which is the Bold and Easy Adult Coloring Book series. That series is really where the bulk of their catalog and their sales sit. So we are going to spend a little bit of time on this. They have the BJB Publishing, which all their books fall under, the coloring books, the activity books, and then they have Blue Jewel Books, which only has their coloring books sitting under it, and they have 115 books currently published. Now, they seem to have two separate series, which are their signature products. First, we've got the Bold and Easy series, and the name tells you exactly what it is. The designs are big, they're simple, no tiny fiddly bits, no overwhelming detail, just really satisfying designs that you can sit down with for 20 minutes and actually finish. That style has become super popular on Amazon. Nearly 40% of the current top 50 adult coloring book bestsellers use that bold and easy positioning, and Blue Jewel Books is one of them. What they've done really well is create a repeatable format. So every book in the adult Bold and Easy coloring book series is the square 8.5 inch by 8.5 inch format, which is really trending right now. Every book has 50 coloring pages inside, all single-sided printing, so markers don't bleed through. Premium glossy covers, crisp white paper. So once that format is set, producing the next book is mostly about choosing a theme and creating coloring pages. That consistency matters a lot because buyers who like one book in the series know exactly what they're going to get when they pick up the next one. And they're really thoughtful about themes. You've got cozy me time, comfy girl, midnight calm, bows and blossoms, relaxing flowers, 90s nostalgia, animals and flowers. There's also a full seasonal run for Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, summer, Each one of those seasonal books catches a wave of search traffic at exactly the right time of the year, and then the evergreen titles sell steadily in between. It's a very, very smart publishing strategy. Then we have the kid and toddler side of their brand, and that gives them something else too, which is a cross-household sales. A parent might find a Blue Jewel book adult coloring book for themselves, see the brand name, and pick up a kid's coloring book for their 5-year-old at the same time. That's not a coincidence. Having books that span ages is a deliberate way to increase the value of every customer who finds you. Now, these books are created in the more traditional 8.5 by 11 inch size, and they are super bright and colorful and target themes that kids generally love. Now, let's take a look at some of these books a bit more closely. This is their first and their best-selling book currently, which is a simple stress relief coloring book. So they've got really, really easy to color images with the bold black lines, lots of white space. The designs are almost childlike, but targeting adults. So the pictures themselves are of things that are more adult-like. Just the way that they're drawn is a little bit more childlike. Then there is the coloring book for kids, rainbows, butterflies, and flowers, for girls aged 6 to 12. So targeting a theme that is really popular with that age group, and it has really lovely coloring images inside of it. The next book that we have is also part of the Bold and Easy series, and it's basically going to be very similar to the first book we looked at in this series. It's simply called Relaxation, but same as the first book that we looked at, it's just super cute and super easy. Really, really bold images for adults to color. And like I said, although they look almost childlike, they are aimed at adults who just want something really simple, something that isn't going to overwhelm them with detail, something that they don't feel they have to be an artist to be able to complete. And then the last one that we'll have a quick look at is from the kids series again, Animals and Flowers for girls aged 6 to 12. So the pattern that you might be seeing is that they have picked a couple of styles of coloring books and a couple of different target audiences, and then have just really stuck to that and just really gone deep on creating as many coloring books as they can for those target audiences. So their target audiences are number 1, adults who like simple coloring, and then number 2, girls age 6 to 8. Okay, so let's talk about money. Now, I do just want to be really clear here on the figures that I'm going to be sharing is based on bestseller rank data and public listing information, not internal sales figures. So these are estimates, but they are informed estimates using the calculation tools provided by Amazon KDP to work out royalties, to work out sales based on a bestseller rank. And this is how people in self-publishing research other brands. So this brand has a lot of books. As we saw, they have almost 200 books. For the sake of time in this video, I'm going to look at just their bestsellers and get an idea of how well their books are selling. So I am going to look at just their top 8 books, but keep in mind, they have hundreds more books than that are selling every day. So I went through their top 8 books here. I took their bestseller ranks, popped them into a book sales calculator, which estimated how many books would be selling each month based on that bestseller rank. And then the royalties on a book is worked out using things like how many pages are in the book, how much it's selling for, what size the book is printed at. So we can use the estimated sales to work out how much royalties they'd be getting for each of their books. And so from their top 8 books, they're selling approximately 5,500 books per month. And that means they're bringing in royalties of close to $9,000 per month from just 8 of their books. Now, one thing that I did find interesting is that they're pricing their bold and easy coloring books very cheaply. But their kids' coloring books are priced according to the market and according to what most other coloring books are selling for. I'm not really sure what the strategy is there. I did notice on one of their book listings that they had noted they were offering a special launch pricing because the book was new, but that book was published a while ago. So maybe they forgot to go back in and increase their prices after the launch. I'm not too sure, but I do know they could be making a whole lot more royalties if they priced their books in accordance with this niche and the same as all the other coloring books in this niche, which is around $9.99. It is also worth mentioning that Amazon recently changed their royalty structure for books priced under $9.99, which did affect a lot of coloring book and just low and medium content book publishers. In general, it makes pricing strategy more important than it has ever been. And if you do ever go onto Amazon just to browse through the low and medium content books, you might have noticed that brands had started moving their list prices of their books up to $10 to protect their margins. Now, let's get into marketing what they do, what they've done to create this kind of success and create these kinds of sales. A lot of what Blue Jewel Books does to drive sales happens directly on Amazon, and that is worth understanding because it's the foundation that everything else sits on. Their titles do the proper keyword work. So when you look at listings like bold and easy coloring book, simple stress relief, large print designs for adults, seniors, beginners, things like that, the titles are not random. It's hitting multiple search phrases that real people type into Amazon. Adult coloring book, stress relief coloring, coloring book for seniors, large print coloring, coloring for beginners. One title, multiple search entry points. But if you are going to be doing something like this, just be very careful you don't fall into the realm of keyword stuffing because Amazon doesn't like that. Just keep it natural. They've also done a smart thing with their series structure. Grouping books into series on Amazon lets customers follow the series and get notified when a new book drops if they do follow you. It's basically like an inbuilt email list for repeat buyers, except Amazon runs it for you. The covers deserve a mention too because on Amazon, the cover is basically your ad. It's the first thing someone sees in the search results, and it has to do the work of stopping a scroll and communicating quality in about a quarter of a second. Blue Jewel's books, book covers are consistent, they're glossy, they're appealing, they appeal to the audience, the target customer that they're trying to target, and they look like they belong in the same family. So that cohesion builds trust when someone's browsing. They are also running Amazon ads. You can spot sponsored listings from their brand in search results, which means they're putting money behind their books to accelerate visibility, not just relying on organic content. And that's the right move for a brand at their stage. You build the organic presence over time, but you use ads to get there faster and keep the best-selling titles in front of buyers. Now, what about how they market off Amazon? What Blue Jewel Books does outside of Amazon is where I think they're building something that lasts longer. They have a proper website at bluejewelbooks.com. And it is organized by age category. So you've got kids, toddlers, teens, adults. So super easy to browse. It links directly to their Amazon listings. So they've got 3 separate links because they are obviously publishing their book on different marketplaces. So depending on what location you're in, each link is going to take you directly to your local marketplace on Amazon to purchase their physical books. And it gives them something that a lot of KDP publishers skip entirely, which is a brand home that exists outside of Amazon. If Amazon changes an algorithm, adjusts their royalties, or pulls a listing, that website is still here. The brand and their books still exist somewhere. They're also active on both TikTok and Instagram. And this is actually one of the smarter parts of what they're doing because think about what their brand themes are. Cozy me time, midnight calm, comfy girl. That language maps directly onto the kind of aesthetic content that performs really well on these 2 platforms. So a slow video of someone coloring one of their midnight calm pages with some lo-fi music in the background, it is exactly the kind of thing that gets saved and shared on TikTok and Instagram. The product and the content almost write themselves. Social media for a coloring book brand isn't about selling hard. It's about creating the feeling that makes someone want to pick up a coloring book in the first place. Blue Jewel Books does that well because their branding is already built around that feeling. And that's not a coincidence either. The cozy, calm, relaxing language in their product title is the same language that their target customer uses when they're describing what they want from their evening. But what are the things that makes Blue Jewel Books stand out? There are a few things that separate Blue Jewel Books from the thousands of other coloring book brands or coloring book accounts on Amazon. The first is their original artwork. They're drawing these themselves, which means the illustrations have a consistent style quality. That shows up in reviews, and reviews drive everything on Amazon. The second thing is the age spanning series. Most KDP coloring book brands pick a lane, either adults or kids, and just stay there. Blue Jewel Books covers toddlers through to adults, which just multiplies how many people can find them and buy from them. It is a harder strategy to execute because you need different design sensibilities for a toddler dot marker book versus a adult stress relief coloring book, but they have managed it. The third thing is that the mother-daughter story is a real differentiator in a category full of nameless publishing companies. Knowing that there are 2 actual humans behind the books. A mum and her daughter making these together creates a connection that a lot of buyers respond to. You can feel it in how their brand communicates, and it's the kind of thing that doesn't scale down. A solo publisher with a big team can't replicate something like this. So let's say you want to build something like this, not copy their books. I mean, use their logic and use their strategies and build your own version of it. Start by picking your target customer: toddlers, kids, adults, seniors, or a combination like Blue Jewel Books. Then do your niche research within that audience. You're looking for themes that have a solid search volume on Amazon. Tools like Publisher Rocket or even just the Amazon search bar will tell you a lot. Just start typing a word or keyword phrase into the search bar and see what auto completes. These are critical because these suggestions are actually what Amazon's customers are searching for. Once you've found your niche, build a signature series concept, something with a name, a consistent format, and a clear style. That format decision, so things like size, page count, paper type, single-sided printing, makes every future book so much faster to produce because the technical decisions have already been made. You just create the art, you create the coloring pages, and you upload the book. Blue Jewel Books, for example, made every adult coloring book 8.5 by 8.5 inch in size, the square format, and every kid's coloring book is 8.5 by 11 inch. And every single one of their coloring books has 108 pages. Then think in terms of a series from day one. One book is just a product. 10 books is a range, 50 books is a business with real passive income potential. The income compounds as the series grows because each new book is going to add monthly revenue, monthly royalties without replacing the last one. Build something outside of Amazon, even if it is small. A simple website that shows your books and a social media account that you post to consistently. You don't need to be everywhere on every platform. Blue Jewel Books does Instagram and TikTok and a website, and that is enough to build brand identity that isn't 100% dependent on Amazon's algorithm. And coloring books do exceptionally well within short form video content like what we saw on their TikTok account. Just create short videos of your books being used and it can end up driving so many sales in Amazon. Next up, plan seasonally. Look at what sells in October, in December, in February, and publish ahead of those windows. So a Halloween book published in September will catch organic traffic through the whole season. A Christmas book published in October has 3 months of peak demand to sell through. And on pricing, now more than ever, think about where your margins are. The shift in KDP's royalty structure for sub $9.99 books means it's worth doing the maths on whether going to $9.99 or higher on your core titles actually makes sense for your income. I'll give you a tip now. It does make sense, and you should be pricing your books at least $9.99. Most coloring books are now priced at that, and it is always a good strategy to price in line with the niche that you're in and with the best-selling books in your niche. Don't always jump to just price lower, thinking that is going to get you the sales. Customers are not always looking for the cheapest book available. So Blue Jewel Books is a really good example of what self-publishing can look like when you treat it like a proper brand rather than just a collection of random books. They've got the product quality, the series volume, the Amazon SEO, the ads, the social presence, and the off-platform, the off-Amazon brand all working together. None of those things alone would do what all of them do together. If this is a business model, a self-publishing model that interests you, let me know down in the comments below. What would your coloring book brand be about? And if you did enjoy this video, YouTube thinks that you might like these ones too. So please go check them out to learn more about self-publishing your own low and medium content books on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.